Welcome back to a brand new coffee tech break with Jan. Good to see you back on my channel again. I think I got another great video for you lined up. It's not coming from there, but I already have it right here because you've probably seen part 1 where I did the unboxing of the G9 Plus, part 2 where I showed you the cabling of the G9 Plus and all the different connectors. This is part 3, and now I'm actually going to log in with a Teams Room account and show you some of the software which is available in the G9 Plus, like the camera control app, there is a lens room app, so there's all sort of software available which comes out of factory on the G9 Plus, but I'm gonna take you all through that. Now, to do that, I'm not gonna hold this now in front of the camera to show you like in the last video. No, I will actually do a remote view now of the TC10, so you're able to see exactly showing you all the menu, logging in to the Teams Room device, and walk you all through it. Now we actually have one component which comes from above, and that is we're going to add the V52. You recognize it here directly in front of the lens. We're gonna add the V52 and connect it up to the G9 Plus. So I'm not gonna show you the sign-in process. Not only that, I will show you the integration with the lens room app, so you're able to manage USB peripherals like the V52, but also the V32, Studio USB, V72, R30, all those devices. You're able to manage them centrally from the lens cloud, including, for example, camera control. So if you hook this up, you're also able to add camera control, but I will show you that all in this video. The first part is now the sign-in process to the G9 Plus to the Teams Room PC. So let me jump now into my demo room and show you that first part. Here we go. Welcome into our Teams demo room. So here I'm able to show you step by step exactly how you sign in the Teams Room PC, the G9 Plus, to the Microsoft Teams environment, but also show you the whole behavior, show you the camera control app, show you the lens room app, so how you can centrally manage that through PolyLens. But I will take you through that process step by step. Here at the top you see a screen. So the screen is black because it's not signed into any account yet. So we're gonna do that at the first stage. So then your screen is black. Here below you see the touch panel. So that is actually the touch panel I have right here. So I can show you that in this demo room. So you got a really good idea how that experience should look like in your own environment. All right, let's get started with the first step. By signing in the Teams Room PC, the G9 Plus kit, let's sign that into the Microsoft Teams environment. So we got a little bit of an idea how that all looks like. It's pretty straightforward. Most of the people will be familiar to that, but I will step by step take you through that process. And let me make the touch panel here below a bit bigger. So now you got a good visibility of the touch panel, and I will able to walk you through it step by step. So the first part is when everything is set up, correctly set up, you should be able to see get started. Before you would see any of this, it could be that depending on how long the updates are running, that it's still updated, because part of the whole process of getting started with your Teams Room PC now is that it's updating all the different applications, Windows updates, the Teams app, etc. And I think that's very good, because in the past I always had to manually update all those different pieces, and this is now automatically being done during the out-of-box experience. So if you see this logo getting started, you're able to really get started signing in the Teams Room PC. Now the first part is the end user agreement, you see right here. And on the right top you can actually check the application. So check on the Microsoft Teams release notes, if you got that latest app, you can check the Windows version, etc. So you got quite some information available to check that out. Then we click on accept. Now we're coming already into the signing process. There's two options. One option is if you got a verification code there, then you're able to add the verification code. This can be pre-configured in your Teams Pro portal, and then you're quickly ready set up, license there, room account there. You don't have to do anything, but just putting in the code and you're ready to go. So this is very nice if you just want to send units away and people locally, they put them in the different rooms, then they just have to put in the code and they're ready to go. The other option is just the manual setup, and that is the right lower side option you see here. If you click on that, you can put in your Teams room account and your password. Let me do that. Alright, we filled in the username, the password, and let me finish the setup. Now let me switch back now to the total setup. Here you go. We got the Teams Room PC now signed into the demo account. So really easy to get started. Directly you identify the QR code here. So as well as on the TV display as on the touch console, you see the QR code on the left top. Now, this is not only to join a meeting, which you have on your phone, so you can scan the QR code and join a meeting on your phone, but also to cast a presentation. Because I know a lot of customers don't even know that the QR code is changing all the time, of course, because you don't want to run into anything that people already got the QR code and somebody walks into the room. So the QR code is being refreshed all the time. Now let me quickly show you how easy that is, that joining and casting something. So I can scan that. Let me do that. It presents me now to read the QR code. Yes, so I can cast content. For example, let me project my screen. So I'm showing exactly what is here on my mobile phone now. Let me accept it here. So just projecting something. Start now. And here you go. So you see now here my mobile on the TV screen here at the top. Really easy. So as you can see, you can project a PowerPoint or you can project the screen. And I just did a project of my screen. So if you share a PowerPoint or you want to share some drawings or anything you have on your mobile phone, you're able to do that. I think it's a really easy and quick one to get started with your Teams Room PC. Best. Now let me take you now quickly through the options we have available. So we got a Meet Now button. This is to ad hoc start a meeting and drag participants in. We got the call option, that is to dial out to a mobile number on PSTN. So you gotta have a license for that. Then we have the sharing option. So on sharing, that is casting. So this casting option is not only available on your mobile or scanning that through that QR code. You can also do the casting from your laptop, your Mac or your Windows PC, so you can also cast wirelessly to the room. Of course, you can also traditionally use the HDMI ingester. It is available on the Teams Room PC itself. And if you want to know more details, check out my previous version where I show you the connectivity and the ports, etc. Then we got room controls. Of course, there are no room controls yet for a video device because I haven't connected it, but I will show you that in a bit. Then we got join with an ID, and here you can just punch in the meeting ID, which is in your Outlook. You put in the passcode and you're able to quickly join a meeting. I think also a really nice one. Now, under more, we got some other options. I think the one which is really nice is a language. So if you are an international, you got people from all over, and then they got the ability now to go to language and they're able to select their own language and use that room in their own language. I think also a really nice one. And of course, a restart if something goes wrong or unexpected behavior. and then you always have the ability to just restart the device if needed. Yeah, and further, of course, we got the calendar here, so showing you here just a demo meeting where you can all just start a meeting scheduled from Outlook through your mobile or through Teams or through your mobile device, and you can join that also. Now, what I want to show you now is connect the V52, which I showed you, and show you some of those room controls. V52 is now connected, so let's see if the Teams Room PC is able to detect it. It's a fully certified Teams device, so it's able to should be able to be detected and recognized. And here you go. So the V52 is right there. If you got multiple cameras connected, then it will show you here more options where you're able to select other cameras. In this case, it's only the V52. So what can you do? You can turn on group tracking, which means just show the group. If people walk in, it will zoom out automatically and just make sure that everybody is visible. You got speaker track. That means if somebody is speaking, then the camera will automatically go to that person. We got people framing. That is splitting up the participants up to 6. And if more than 6 participants in the room, then it will fall back to group framing. But people framing is a really nice option to get everybody together in a sort of meeting equality. So especially for the remote participants, it looks very nice to have everybody together in a sort of similar meeting room. Now you can turn on tracking, you can turn it off. So if you really want to manually pan tilt zoom, that's also a possibility. You're able to create some presets. You can even rename some of those presets. So if, for example, you got a whiteboard there, whiteboard, you go, and you're able to create some presets. Really nice, just manual PTZ. It's not used a lot, but I think it is just great that the option is there if you don't want to automatically pan, tilt and zoom. So this is the V52 for the as an end user experience. So the end user will just walk in the room and he's able to configure this themselves. Now there's also the backend side, because we want to look at the updates, we want to roll out maybe some policies, and we got different things which we maybe remotely want to enforce. Now that is possible through the Lens Room app. Alright, let's go now to the backend of this PC in the administration settings, and let me show you how to configure this device now to integrate it with your Lens environment. So your centralized management. So if you got multiple of those Teams Room PCs, you centrally want to manage those USB connected peripherals, where you're able to do that. So let me first get the touch panel a bit bigger. Alright, so now you should be able to see this very good. Now we go here into more, then we go into settings. Now here we are. This is underwater the settings of the Teams application. So you can see the version, you can see the Windows version, you can see some of the IP addresses. You can go here to account. Then if you need to change something, you can do that here. You go to the meetings. Here you can do some of the options for your meetings. You can enable third-party meetings like WebEx and Zoom. Under the devices, you find some of the settings, also the dual monitor mode. You're able to swap screens. This is also something which is coming to Android. Coordinated meetings, so you can turn that on if you have a Surface Hub and you don't want to do whiteboarding specific on there. Then you're able to turn this on and point and some specific features like whiteboarding to the Surface Hub. We got peripherals. So in this case, you'll see, and I will make sure that I set it correctly, the V52 want this as a microphone, want this as a speaker. We want the V52. Here you can test the audio. The default speaker was set that also to the V52. So everything is set up correctly now. Then we got here the default camera. We set that to the V52. You can check on a preview if you want to. You can work with Cloud IntelliFrame. We can enable content camera if needed. And I think there is no limitations anymore on the content camera. So you should be able to use any camera now as a content camera. Then we can select background. Well, you can also do custom backgrounds today, as well as on the Windows side and on the Android side. And the last part here is for Windows. But one thing I don't want to forget is here the reset device. So if you've brought your G9 Plus into a demo and it's coming back from a demonstration, or for some reason you need to reset the account, you can always click on reset. And this will make sure that the account details, everything is deleted, settings are default, etc. Really nice. So this is the reset device. Now, the thing which I wanted to show you here is under Windows settings. Then we can go underwater into the Windows 11 IoT administration settings. So we click here on administrator. We type here the very heavy password. And here we go. We're now into the administrative settings of your Teams Room device. Now, like I said, everything is mostly arranged on the out-of-box experience. So especially software updates, you really need to drive that in the past yourself. Go into the Windows settings, go in manually Teams Room update, etc. That is all done now in that out-of-box process. But you need to hook it up to Lens. If you want to centrally manage your V52, V72, V32 or any of the USB peripherals, you need to initiate the connection between the Lens Room PC and the Lens Central Managed Portal. So how do we do that? Well, on this device, out of the box, you have Lens Room installed. Out of the box. So even if you do like recover this complete G9 Plus PC, you will be seeing the Lens Room agent there. This is just pre-installed. Now, if you cannot find it here, just go under the apps and then you go all the way down, and there you should be able to also find the Lens Room. So if I click on that, well, let me do that. It will start up the Lens Room agent because we need to register, of course, this Lens Room account into my specific portal. Now, how do we do that? We're gonna onboard this device with a PIN. So I click here on onboarding with a PIN. Now we have a PIN available. We need to jump now into my Lens Room portal and add this PIN to make sure both devices are connected to each other. So let me copy this one and let me jump now to my Poly Lens environment. Here we go. We are now in my Poly Lens environment, of course, the Coffee Tech Poly Lens environment. So we go here to manage, we go to register device, and here you will find the PIN onboarding. So we click here on register device, and at the top you see device is a PC room system. So we click that, we put the PIN which we just copied from the PC, from the Lens Room app, we copy that in here. Now we will do this for this tenant, then we fill in a name. So let me call this Coffee Teams Room. So I click on register. Let me go back to the meeting room. Here you go. So after coming back here and doing the registration, you see I'm now successful. So you can go to your tenant, you can reset. So if this is a demonstration, you need to remove the Lens registration, you can click on reset onboarding status. Now, what do we find more here? Under settings, you can find the account, so you can see where it registers. You see here the tenant ID. You can find a language, which is today English, but I would expect more languages in the future. The software version, so the exact version of your Lens Room agent. And here you find some additional information, the onboarding via PIN. So I guess everything is ready now and to be used with Poly Lens. So let me go back to PolyLens now and show you what is available there. Alright, welcome back into PolyLens. So if you have the lens room app, if you have that added successfully, where can you find it? Well, different places. So you're able to find your team's room PC. You can find it under inventory. So if I click on inventory, you should be able to see it right here, popping up like in a whole big list there. So if you want to search this quickly, I just recommend to go here to the device model filter, click on the HP Comfort PC, and here you're able to find all the details of your device. So you can see that it is online. You can find the devices which are connected here to my Teams Room PC. So that is the V52, the TC10, and the Lens Room app. And you can dig deeper into those devices for specific softwares like settings, but I will show you that in a bit. The other place where you can find this PC is go here under Manage, you go to Rooms, and here you also find that specific room which I created earlier. So I can click on that, and now I can configure some of the specifics for this room. So I can go here into the settings, and now I can, for example, add this specific room to a site. So let's add this to the coffee site. I can add like a sort of room size to it, so people are aware. So it's the V52, so it could be a medium room. The floor, let's say it's on the second floor. Capacity, let's say around 8 people. You can even integrate it with the calendar, so that will give you additional information. You can put in the time zone here. So let me also do that. Still in Amsterdam, and let me apply this. And so now we got all sort of additional information, and you can see that being added here on the left side. Really nice. And of course, if you then integrate it with the calendar, you can get all sort of additional information. Of course, if this is a new device, so we don't have any information now, but you can find a lot of interesting information about rooms scheduled but not used, etc. This is all becomes available after uses after a while. Let me go back now to the inventory to show you some of the items there. So I'm searching here for the HP Conference PC, and I think the filters, I really use them a lot. I click on the Teams Room PC, and now you find all sort of additional information if needed for technical support. An important one is always the Lens Room app. Make sure that that is up to date, because there could always be some updates coming. It will also come through Windows updates, but you can also force an update through the Lens portal. What you can do here also is do a restart. So in case needed, you can always force a restart like instant on the Teams Room PC. There could be a scenario when there are some issues in the room, things are not working properly. So with this restart, you can underwater always restart the PC. So even if the Teams UI doesn't show up or is black or something, well, you can always, this case, always get access to the PC and restart it. So this is, I think, also one of the big benefits of using the Lens portal. You can do factory reset or you can delete it. So if you did the demonstration, you're taking out the device, you need to remove it again from that Lens portal, then you delete it. Now under you will find all the information of the devices which are connected. So I can go here, for example, into the V52, and you find here some additional information. Maybe at the beginning not all the information, because it will negotiate and it will sync all the settings, but you're able to find if there are software updates. You're able to find the serial numbers of the device, where it is located, where it is last synced for the settings. Now here you can go deeper in the settings. So really dive deeper into the settings of your V52. You can set here the monitoring frequency. You can go into the audio settings, turn on off the noise block settings. You can go to the video control and configure some of the tracking mode. So you really got some options to configure through the PolyLens environment. And of course, under the analytics, if you are using this in a longer time, you're able to find some of the health information when it was online, etc. Now, besides the V52, you can also dive deeper in the TC10 panel at the table. So I'm able to click on that, and you're also able to change settings. You can for software updates if needed. Yeah, really nice. So you got control here over all the devices that are connected to the Teams Room PC. The one which I think is also interesting is by clicking on the Lens Room app, you're able to really dive deeper also on the PC. So this is more for troubleshoot information, but for example, if there are some issues with the device or on the network, and find out the connection mode, is that full duplex or half duplex. So there's some really interesting things which you're able to troubleshoot remotely on the Teams Room PC. So I think this is really powerful. Now, if you want to configure some policies, so let's say you hook up the V52 and you want to have them all, for example, with group tracking, then you can go to Manage, you can go to Policies, then you can go to Account, and here you can go to Device Model. So here specifically for a model you can create a policy. So let's say I want to configure something for the V52. Here you go. Then we can do continue, and here I'm able to create a specific policy for my V52. So I can configure, go to video, the video setting, let's say group track is my default one. Then you're able to configure that. Do I want to do software updates or disable them? Well, I usually disable them, so I have full control when a device is coming in. So here you're able to configure these types of policies, and this is then for a specific model, so the V52. What you can also do is a whole device family. So here you see the V family. So that means the V32, the V52, the V72. So here you're able to do that whole group. So not specific to a model, but a whole family. I think a really interesting one. And yeah, I usually just recommend to just create an account on Lens and just get started with those things. Start in a lab and just get some hands-on experience with PolyLens. Alright, and we are now back here in our Teams demo room. So as you've seen in the back, there are some things which you need to do after you've signed in your Teams Room PC to the Microsoft Team environment. If you want to manage your peripherals centrally to PolyLens, you need to register that Lens Room application, and all your devices you are able to manage that that centrally, besides your headsets, speakerphones, anything else, that all becomes available as a centralized repository. Now, lastly, I want to show you some troubleshoot information in combination with the TC10. Let me show you that very quickly. So if you need to, you can always dive deeper on TC10 itself also. So if you're physically in the room, you need to figure out some information, you can always go here into the settings button, which is a sort of slide menu. Here you will find all the settings available, controller information, versions, etc. If you need to troubleshoot something, you can go to the user settings, change some of the brightness of the screen, use dark mode or the light mode. You can find some help information. Now there's also an admin part, but this part is locked down, and so this is protected out of the box with the admin and last 6 digits of the serial number. So of course I recommend to change that when you're going to install it. But if needed, there you can unregister it from Lens, you can reset the TC10, you can unpair it from the Teams Room PC, etc. There's a lot of features available under the admin settings if you need to do some troubleshooting locally on the device. And that's it. I think I've done the video within 2 coffees. We did the registration of the and the login, Teams Room PC. We did the Lens Room app registration into PolyLens. Showed you some of the features and functions where you hook up a V52 or V32 or V72. and of course I showed you some troubleshooting information. Now, hopefully you enjoyed it. Of course I try to create chapters so you're able to always quickly jump to different parts and pieces of the video. You got any questions or comments, just put them under the video, and of course I'll try to help as good as possible. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm already looking forward to see you back in the next video.